Hey guys, we're back with what I like to call... I gotcha! You thought I was gonna say the letter, but I didn't. Let me move OBS over there. So, yeah, got nothing better to do than play the letter today. My backlog has like 1 episode left, so I'm gonna play like 2 or 3 today, if I can get around to it. I'd like to, I'm on spring break right now, so I'd like to finish this route by the end of spring break. Get started on the true ending. Which, I don't think I'll do any other routes after that. Like, I'm kind of interested in some of the other routes. Like, what if everybody dies? But I've been doing the series long enough. How far are we? We're about to go into the place with Isabella, right? I remember. But where is it on the branching tree? There. Tonight, I can't stay distracted. Except for a few half-hearted attempts to get some kind of reaction from Isabella, the drive to BRC is a quiet, awkward affair. More so, the hour-long wait for nightfall. Even with only the 2 of us, the pace is rife with tense energy, only a matter of minutes now. But the ticking seconds don't take away the edge. For the 5th time, you try to fiddle with the radio, adjusting and turning the knobs with no real purpose. It's a nervous quirk that I've developed, never bothered to correct during stakeouts. Something to keep my mind occupied during long nights. What else is there for me to do? The person I usually count on for casual out-of-the-blue chat refuses my attempts for starting one.
Ash, out with it!
What?
Ash, out with it! If you have something to say.
Did it start the next line, or...? I don't know. The way she quickly falters into silence after. Better the tone she takes, though. Makes me doubt if she really means everything she's telling me right now. Cut line. Found it. She hasn't even glanced my way since we arrived.
Having second thoughts? You can still back out if you want.
We're just going to my office. Why should I?
Dunno? You can get in trouble maybe. This isn't exactly legal.
Do people pronounce it like that? Like, you see dunno spelled out all the time, but I just thought it was like a quick way of spelling don't know. Like, do people actually say...
We're just...
Dunno? You can get in
yeah,
trouble
do people
maybe.
actually say it like
This
that?
isn't exactly legal.
Scope BRC out, see if the real estate company has any more information that may be of help. Find things about Cooper and the other agents assigned to the Ermengarde mansion. According to Isabella, it's the last property the victims have worked on. Sure, you can also check out the station for full reports. That's an easy, semi-legal way. How's it semi-legal? It's either legal or it's not. No, not true. Copyright logs this. Right. But I don't want to bump into Chief right now. The guys at the precinct will definitely throw me out on his orders as soon as they see me. Not that my plan right now is any better, just breaking into a different place, more or less, with a civilian to boot. The latter still doesn't sit well with me, never will, especially if this might put her in a very tricky position afterwards. She's been very careful when it comes to her work, almost a model employee, as people would say. Why is she throwing caution to the wind now?
I'm not an employee here. I'm not supposed to be looking for any confidential stuff. Only people like you are privy to.
If you mentioned earlier that this is your plan, I might have had enough time to think about it. I already promised to help if you need access to those files. I didn't think you'd want to see them this soon and in this way. Besides, the same goes for you, right? You were taken off your case. Won't you get in trouble with your boss?
Not if he doesn't find out. Honestly, it's a toss-up between breaking into her office or into the Wright's mansion. As it stands, I'll have an easier time getting in here first. After all, why would someone want to break into a realty company? Been here many times before anyway, for free casual visits when I wanted to bug security kit. Over the years, I have more or less grown familiar with their security setup, how badly staffed they are. We've read this line before. I vaguely remember reading a line very similar to that. Plus, it's an old building. If the bankruptcy rumors are true, it just means their access protocols might be also be outdated.
Still, I can do this on my own, you know.
Really? And how are you even planning to get into our office without an access card? Please explain.
Just be like, whoops, I forgot my access card. Can you buzz me in, bucko? He's like, oh yeah, sure.
Well, I was going to pry open the card reader and use a gecko.
I don't get the reference.
You're a hopeless case. I really want to know why no one has locked you up yet.
Yeah, you're helping me with this. Willingly. I don't think that'll sit well with the Philippine embassy either. Chances are you'll probably get deported the minute they find out.
Low blow, I know, but it's worth a shot when she would still turn back. It's not like I don't have any means to get into the place. Oh, is she not like... Wait, if you're a full citizen, can you still get deported? Like... Is that mentioned? Nah. Well, becoming a full citizen is pretty hard in some countries. In a lot of countries, I think, so... I don't know. But it's worth a try when she can still turn back. It's not like I don't have any means to get into the place. With or without her, I have a way.
At least I have a reason to be snooping about. My badge and rank can speak for me in case things go south. You?
For a passing second, it seems to work. Into panic and hesitation, flashes across her features when she looks to me with searching eyes. Then unexpectedly, it dissolves. Not behind the fear I'm anticipating, but underneath something sharp and searing. Not sure what she sees exactly or what she's hoping to find in the short while she holds my gaze. All of it merely goes unspoken, and longer than a minute later, she simply averts her attention back to the window, training it once again at some point outside.
Isabella, please, now's not the time.
It's too late for that, Ash. Give it a rest.
An appeal spoken in a voice too harsh coming from her, perhaps unintentional, perhaps one that's already too exhausted of everything going on lately. It's hard not to concede when she takes on that tone, and soon, despite myself, I sigh. Backing away every concern I've been lucky around, in favor of trusting her on this, according to her the same confidence she has implicitly given me all this time.
Alright, okay, if that's what you want. And don't worry, I didn't mean what I said earlier. I won't let anything happen.
Blushing face. Her lips briefly turn up in a smile, though none of the cheer reaches her eyes.
Just get this over with, okay? Everyone should be out of the office by now.
Somehow, the uncertainty... Oh, what about the ghost, though? The ghost hasn't gone home yet. We got work to do. We're working overtime. Somehow, the uncertainty in her posture makes me wonder if she's intended it as some kind of comforting gesture. Whether it is for me or for her, she doesn't let me find out. Without saying another word, she exits the car, while I'm left scrambling and chasing after her. She's already at the side entrance, hand raised on the card reader beside it, and another poised to push the door open when I catch up to her. Whatever doubt there's been in her face a while ago, it's gone. Seeing her like this makes it easier to believe my worries are unfounded, that things might go smoothly this time.
And where do you think you kids are going?
Ah!
Late. Most offices in this building have already closed up shop for the weekend.
The bloke seems friendly enough, though one can't really tell from his voice alone. He might be the wary sort, for all I know. Keeping an unconcerned face and aloof air won't hurt, till I've figured out how to wiggle us out of the situation.
Just come back on Monday if you have important business.
From the way Isabella's face brightens up, looks as though getting through won't be too much of a problem. She's probably been working here for a few months already then, maybe around 4 to 6 months, max. Otherwise, you would have recognized Isabella or me at first glance. I haven't shown my face here since I've been sent to the firm case a year ago. In the first place, none of their security officers ever lasted a year in service. Longest was about 7.5. I'll give this guy around that before he gets fired or finds a better paying job. For the moment, his too friendly attitude is almost a gift.
Hey, Seb!
Seb? What kind of name is Seb?
Oh, look who we have here. Been a few days since I last saw that ponytail in here, Santiago?
What's your last name? Santos.
Close enough!
Wait, don't tell me yet. I'll get it right this time. Sanchez.
You were closer the first time?
Sanchez is... That is a name that's showed up before. Is that the, that one, like, 6-year-old's last name? Wait. Someone else's. That is a name that showed up here.
Drat. I swear it is on the tip of my tongue. I just need a hint to remember.
Take it back. The skeezy's not gonna last past this month. Can't even remember a regular employee's name.
Alrighty, I'm sure of it this time. Centillon?
Still a ways off, Seb.
Isabella, we don't have all night.
I know, just let me handle this. Sorry, Seb. Some other time. We're in a bit of a hurry. I just need to get a few things from my cubicle. Important work stuff, you know? Is it okay if we drop upstairs for a sec?
Oh, absolutely. No, go right ahead. As long as you have your access card with you, we're good. Not sure if I'm allowed to let your boyfriend in, though.
Who, me?
My what?
Your boyfriend. The guy with you, isn't he?
And then we do the ooh we're not dating yet scene. And he goes, ah ha 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 ha, youth. It's a fair observation if I do say so myself. Needless to say, the silence that descends is both uncomfortable and terribly awkward. Though the latter's probably coming mostly from me, because in the next second Isabella laughs. Laughs. Wow, that must feel bad. Lighter than the ones I've read her lately. Him, my boyfriend, don't make me laugh. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Comforting sound, really. After seeing her in such a dour mood since this morning. Even as all it subsides in a mere chuckle sooner than I'd like. It's comforting to see that I'm at least partially responsible for it, despite my poor heart being beaten to a sorry pulp.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, no. No. He's definitely not my boyfriend.
She might as well have set it on fire and reduced it to dust. So, go ahead and, looks like Ashton died right here. They forgot to put a little bad ending. Frankly, the number of no's in that sentence alone is a bit too much. Christ. One would have been enough to get the message across. Did she really have to put it that way?
That's impossible. Stop being funny, Seb.
You know, Ashton, I'm sorry, buddy. You're now number 2 on the tier list. Isabella, go to the bottom.
I'll go on ahead, okay?
Quickly shuffles inside with nothing more than a small wave, leaving behind an even more awkward atmosphere for him to wade through. Would have been bearable if I didn't have to suffer through a stranger's amusement. Alas, woe is me.
Not the boyfriend, but close to it, huh?
Mind your own business.
Kids these days.
Youth! I called it!
Good to see her up and about, though. Thought for sure she'd up and disappear like the others.
Excuse me?
You know, stuff in the news.
You mean what happened with Rose Cooper?
I'm going to be stuck here with him for a while. Might as well try to gather as much intel as I can. He may just be a guard, someone with no real authority, but most of the time, people like him are the ones who know more than they let on.
Yeah, but even before that, we've got a couple of good blokes we never saw again.
Really? Those guys could have just resigned for all you know.
Dunno, I only catch tidbits of stuff from over here. Oh, seriously, I heard the branch is getting flushed soon, but that's no excuse for anarchy. Figures why Boss Man's been in an awful temper these past months.
They managed to strike a good deal with the mansion in Ansem, right? That didn't do the trick?
Didn't seem like it. The bloke shouting like no tomorrow again. Wasn't very pleased when Gurley called and asked for another leave yesterday afternoon.
Gurley? Isabella?
It's not too surprising, considering she's already been gone for 3 days. Now she's asking for another. Not that it's a bad thing. It's within her rights as an employee, but... Why, getting sick days? I could make a joke about, you know, America getting like... How many sick days do you get? I think that's... negotiable, I think? I don't have a job, I don't know. My job's to make quality content for you guys. Isabella clearly uses her work leaves.
Yeah, poor Lassie if you ask me. She found him a buyer for that mansion after all. The least he could do is be considerate to her after a family member's passing.
Wait, what?
Oh, okay, so her dad's dead, okay. The rumors BRC Rose Cooper missing in action employees, all of it ceases to matter in that instant. Almost on instinct, my eyes zero in on the intercom speaker, as if staring daggers at it will show me the man behind the voice, so I can see the truth in his face myself.
Oh, you don't know?
No, what?
Nothing. I shouldn't be the one you're asking, and, you know, things might get a bit boring here. No one really wants to hear what a poor old...
Yeah, go on up!
Why don't you just go after her? As long as you're not looking to create trouble for me, it won't be a problem. You aren't here for that, right?
Seb's getting fired. I'm sorry, man. He's lucky I'm not here to hurt anyone. If I were someone with ill intentions, he might not be smiling at the end of the day.
Well, no, but...
I'll go and unlock that side entrance for you then. Just don't forget to turn off the lights before you both leave, okay?
Hey, wait a second. What do you mean by...
Gets up the connection before I can finish. The rest of my question dies in my throat. Soon the latch clicks and the side door swings open. Seb, a stout man wearing a uniform still too loose for him, waves me over from the gap, before he disappears behind the station again. Just my luck. Here's that I'm going to have to count on whatever Isabella brings with her. Although, no matter how much I want to feel happy, something else has already taken a firm seat at the forefront of my mind. Is that why she's been acting not like herself today? Since when? First, as I step into the building, I try to push all these questions as far down as I can. Need to focus. Work is work. What if I hear a helicopter? Is that being picked up? Might be? Maybe. But if what I've heard is exactly what I think it is, if it's a sign of things to come, honestly, I don't feel too good about that. You just raised a death flag. I remember this. It's a quiet ride up to the 7th floor, where the BRC Lux Warren main office is. Lux Baron. Look, that's just boring. That's boring. There's an O. Seb has been kind enough to switch the guest guest elevator's power on, just as I'm about to head for the fire exit stairs. Which is a welcome relief. I'm an active guy, but stairs? I don't want to tire out too quickly, in case things get ugly. There probably won't be any trouble with the building this quiet, but you never know. I swear, this whole place definitely feels eerie at this time of night. But until I've confirmed anything, these are still just stories. Worse things can happen. Don't need to scare myself. Staying calm means fewer mistakes.
I sure am fucking gutsy, especially with what I'm doing.
Breaking a lot of laws here. Also putting Isabella in a lot of risks. Best thing that can come out of this is that Isabella's right all along. Worst case scenario? 1. Someone finds out Isabella's involvement in this and her boss fires her. 2. I find evidence that would implicate BRC or Luke Wright in a crime. My meddling, if I'm not careful enough, makes it inadmissible in court. Though I'll be honest, strongly prefer losing my job or facing night over some spirit or ghost or whatever it is. Could always work around the problems with the former. Isabella could also find a better job. BRC never did pay her properly, despite her efforts. But fighting off a phantom? I just won't even do that. Kids even work with them?
Yeah, not going to happen.
But tonight I'm here to fix things. If they do it without leaving a trail, all the better. Good thing that's what I'm good at. Oh, I got an achievement. Easy way in. What I'll probably never be good at is finding the proper words when a sitch calls for it. Seeing Isabella's small form beyond those doors, as she pushes through despite carrying an entirely different burden this time, and she's pretending as if everything's normal, it's difficult not to try. People who've never looked beyond her smiles will never know, will never understand. Heck, even Rebecca's probably not aware of this yet, pardon my French. I get it, we have other problems at hand. I've done the same thing plenty of times to protect myself, after all. But it's all in her eyes when she glances up at the few light wraps I give the door. She wastes no time in leaving the mess of papers on the table and opening it for me. Though even her confusion as she takes in my presents rarely hides it.
Seb, let you in?
I'm just that good. The rough edge in her voice rings a whole different tune now that I'm aware why. But knowing is different from hearing it straight from her. Can't simply bring this up, can I? It's not a topic suited for casual conversation, and I doubt she wants to talk about it. To talk to me about it. As much as I want to help her. Want to help. There's a distance between us I'll never be able to cross. One that wouldn't even be there if it wasn't for me. Perhaps, if I had been more honest years ago, and less of a coward, I'd have been able to. Figures I couldn't even do that for the one person I kept telling myself I cared deeply about.
What can I say? I'm a very charming person.
To a rock, maybe?
This is the closest we can get to it, I suppose. The light banter, the fleeting glances, or sometimes the long bouts of silence. And it's enough. For me it is. Because even without words, there's comfort. With her, it's easy.
Must be a pretty cool rock then.
Ugh, get over yourself.
Hey now, I deserve some slack here. Today's supposed to be my day off, and yet here I am helping you out.
Helping? By standing at the door?
I'm pretty
Well,
good,
you're
huh?
not exactly letting me in.
Despite what she says, she moves to block me when I try to enter. She must have expected this. The second we walked up to the building's entrance, counting on the night shift guard to bar me from the place. It's reassuring to know she's somehow worried about me, although it's a bit misplaced at the moment. Besides, her concerns aside, they can't let her get into the thick of things without me. Not without all the problems on her plate right now.
Isabella?
Seriously, Ash. Seb might get in trouble for this. You might get in even bigger trouble with your boss.
And you're not? We've already talked about this back at Zach's. It's out of the question.
At least do it for Seb, please. He's a really nice guy. With the way things are going here, he's...
On that, I agree with her. Seb's not such a bad fellow. I'd be a little careless with his job and talks too much, but he means well. Seb's the final boss! In the true ending, we kill the ghost is dead. Like, okay, we're gonna get out of here. And at the doorway to the mansion, it's Seb. But I hate to see the guy leave here with a bad record, in case something goes wrong. After the anxious look, she shoots back the table behind her, bringing in even bigger worry.
Did you find something? Aside from what you told me about yesterday?
Not yet. I'm not sure. I haven't started going through the files we have in the records room. Just the ones they handed to me in rows.
Let me see.
Wait, Ash!
Isabella, I already promised you that no one's going to get in trouble after we're done here. Even Seb. I'll make sure we leave the place clean.
Her hesitation's still there, split second of indecision as she tries to form an argument. Eventually, when nothing comes to mind, she steps aside. How far in are we? Almost 20. Okay.
But we can't take the original files out of this office. Clear? Not even a single sheet. We'll just have to make a copy.
Don't worry, that's the plan.
It appears to reassure her. A nod, then shortly she gestures for me to follow. Passing the sea of cubicles, I can't help but take in everything in their office. Force of habit, for the most part. As far as I know, BRC Luxburn used to own this whole building. Offices in several floors, once upon a time, when real estate is still a lucrative business for the company in this side of the country. Then, competition showed up, and suddenly, everything's not so good anymore. Only got worse as the years went by. So according to the rumors. So, hold on, give me like 10 seconds. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I'm back. Okay. Now the branch is just this floor, despite what the huge sign in the building facade. Oh yeah, right! Facade can also be used as like a sign. Frankly, it's not too hard to believe when one looks at the state of this room right now. Number of desks have been cleared out. Personal mementos are scarce, as if the employees have gone out on an exodus. Did I say that right? I think I did. That'll be the downsizing, probably. Still worrisome though. Of course, I shake away all this when Isabella starts handing me the papers she's been looking through. Focus, Ray. There's no point in whining or dwelling. Oh, speaking of focus. I started watching Hunter x Hunter again. I stopped watching it. Well, I initially stopped watching it on like the Greed Island arc. I was like, okay, I'll get around to this later. Kind of forgot about it. But then I got to Marianne arc a couple months ago. Well, no, more than a couple months ago. Probably in like October. And you'll be seeing this like a week after it comes out. So, I mean, this is up to date. And so I was like, okay, you know what? I'll watch some Hunter x Hunter tonight. And they killed off! Should I say her name? I mean, she's just basically an irrelevant side character, but still. That's why we're here in the first place. To find out what the real deal is the old-fashioned way. Enough Hunter x Hunter talk. Isabella's presence is a whole other blessing, too. Couldn't imagine how long this would take if I pushed going in here alone.
Is this everything? Where are the documents you mentioned?
Still locked up in the records room. Do you need them now?
Bring them here. Everything that has to do with the mansion's sale. Even those who worked on it during the renovations. The cleanup. Everything. Including your mandatory sign-in sheets.
It's nothing to bring up, but at least it looks a laugh from her before she heads to the record room. She remembers. No matter how weak the sound of it is from her usual ones, it's a welcome thing to hear. Reminds me that the Isabella I know is still in there. I don't get the joke. What are sign-up sheets? I don't remember, but she returns minutes later with a thick stack of folders and binders. Ermengarde Mansion. I'm still... I don't know the right word. I'm still something about the name of this. Mad, upset, happy, all of them. For the next half of the hour, work in complete silence when we dig into everything compiled in the folders. Not an easy task considering how thick the whole thing is, but there's two of us. In fact, Isabella does most of the work, sorting the contracts, the employee list, stuffing won't need into a neat pile. Just the files for the restoration alone make up a stack of papers that's an inch thick. Third-party service providers hired for the masonry, radiators, woodworking, plasterwork, slate roofing, and a whole bunch of other things are well documented. Heck, even every single contractor who worked on the project were listed individually, even if they were just there to do the plumbing. It's a high-profile and high-cost estate, alright? But with the scope comes with the loopholes. There's plenty of room to hide something in. There's something fishy going on. All I have to do is find a pattern, and it doesn't take long. Upon closer glance, despite the original owners shouldering their renovation costs, it'll be surprising if they managed to break even on the Ermengarde Mansion. Well, with additional expenses for the open house, the commission for their agents, and other overhead fees. At one point, the negotiations to get it listed under BRC's name almost broke down too. Some disagreement about the listing price. The owners wanted to be rid of it as quickly as possible, while keeping the worth at a profitable level. BRC was insisting on a higher amount, double what the appraiser suggested. This, plus the rumor that their branch is closing? BRC Luxburn really is in the red, and the sale of the mansion could have easily been a desperate move to get the branch afloat.
No wonder the final sale happened as fast as it did. Did you know about this?
No. They took it off our hands after I submitted the final documents for the sale. I didn't even know until I read this. I'm not sure if Rose did. I've only been given the key to the records room after she... Anyway, my point is, they've kept all the files from me. Rose was the one who compiled everything from our side. And even then, she was probably not aware of this. There's only so much they let us know. After that, they just told us to wait for our commission, and that the legal team would handle the rest. the rumors are true. Huh.
Seems so.
Sheesh. This place is just unlucky. Going bankrupt while all the rest of this crap is happening. But this isn't what we're looking for. What we need is the who. The people aside from Isabella and Cooper involved in this business with the mansion, and how they are now. We can't do much with the outside contractors. They won't be on file. The employee list, on the other hand. Even with the 2 people working through the pile, the whole task still takes quite a while. It's a quarter of an hour later when we put down the papers with a sigh, move on to the clients upon Isabella's insistence. For that, the sign-in form from the open house comes in handy. Anna right, Luke right, the first one's there. Richard Frank. Oh, was that Ashley's fake name that he put? Well, did he do that? Because, no, he only showed up later, right? Never mind. Messiah Ventung, Ashley. No, that's just Ashley. Charles Lacenas, Marcy Ty, Marcy Thank You, Lauren Stiles, Madeline Williams, and Beatrice Wild, BW. Something that gives me a laugh when I spell the fake name I wrote on one of the sheets. Oh, that was him.
Why'd I even pick this name? It sounds so lame.
What name?
Nothing important. Just focus on those papers you have. We need to finish this soon, before Seb suspects anything.
She snatches the papers away before the thought of hiding it occurs to me. Not that there's much of a secret in it. Isabella found me that afternoon anyway, but still.
Ashley?
Oh. Been careless that day, failing Luke Great without confirming where they were headed off to. While the butler's terribly efficient in keeping the race engagements from the public eye, the other ways, if only have given it the time of day. Wait, was Ashton? I forget how the beginning went, but was he only there because he was tailing at Luke? In retrospect, I've been too eager, too impatient to find something that'll crack the case and be done with it. Even my failure goes as far back as the day of the open house, not during the party last night.
Yeah, well, I was pressed for time.
Seriously? Ashley? Were you even trying?
Oh, come on. You didn't even notice I was the one who wrote it down.
Of course I wouldn't. Only an idiot would use his real name.
It worked, though. Admit it. It's genius. Who would have thought, huh?
She responds with a roll of her eyes, then drops the matter entirely by shoving the paper back to my hands. How far into it are we? Almost 30. I'll probably call it, like, once they leave the room or start heading down, the whole ghost shenanigans. We'll lapse back to our respective tasks afterwards, wordlessly skimming through everything. Read, set aside, and get another one. Looking back at the sign-in sheet, I spot Luke Wright and Hannah Wright listed up top. Not that I don't know about them already, of course, but scanning through the list, a name immediately comes to my attention.
Madeline Williams.
Something wrong?
Huh? No, just that I remember this girl listed here.
She frowns, moves her seat closer, and takes a careful read of the sheet. There's a long moment before she speaks up again. From the way she tenses, she appears to be expecting the worst already.
What about her?
She was with me, in the group following Cooper, when we toured the upstairs part of the mansion, I mean. Rather loud one, especially when we took a peek into the attic. Kept talking about the ghost stories the whole tour.
Then, do you think she's...
She was reported missing 3 days after.
Ooh. There's a ruckus at the precinct the day her family filed it. Threats are naturally given at the lack of progress days later. Desperate ones. Her family's willing to shell out all the cash they have to find her. To no avail, unfortunately. Officer Benjamin has been in a bad mood ever since he spoke with them. But what can he do? What can we do? He's tied, and we're all tied. There's only so much we're able to do with everything that has been shoved into our hands recently.
She still hasn't been found. It's already been a week.
Isabella makes no further comment aside from a nod. Instead, she sits back on her chair with a distant look in her eyes, her hands ball into a fist as she struggles with her frustration. Or maybe it's anger. But the moment doesn't last too long. Sooner, her grip loosens and she folds her hands back on her lap. Expression, however? It's what I've seen too many times in the mirror. What does one person say to a person burdened not by loss but many? One loss but many. Who carries it in her shoulders like a badge of shame? I need to find the answer to that myself. Till then, the only way is forward. Press on to see where our attempts at fixing our mistakes might lead us. Despite my own doubts, a glimpse of that look on our face is enough reason for me. Can't just give up. It's too much at stake. Too much to lose. Isabella's having a really bad week. Like, all of her co-workers die. Her father gets ill and dies. It's possible that all of her friends die and everyone she knows dies. That's, up there with some of my worst weeks. Like once, I thought it was spring break, but actually it wasn't until next week, so I had to go to school the next day. That was bad. I just made that up. I don't think that's happened to me. With a renewed focus, I continue. The third and last sheet is about another one. Beatrice Wild. What I recall from the newspaper obituaries. Arbitraries? The dead people one. Died of a heart attack. Letter of correspondence expressing condolences to her family confirms as much in her files. Passed away at age 74 in her sleep.
She's at that age. It certainly could have been a natural death.
Right? Like to believe so. But 3 more letters turned up when I rummaged through the stack, and left nothing more than a foreboding feeling in me. They're all addressed to families and clients who have passed away in the past week. Regardless, these go into the pile of things worth looking into after our visit here, along with William's info sheet. There's so many names, so many faces, each one I've seen that day. Here I am wondering if they're alright. It isn't a selfless thought that brings the question to mind, and there's the logic that if more of them are still alive, the more people I can choose to question. Nothing's concrete yet, of course. These are just speculations, but we're making progress. Once done with the sign-in sheets, stashed along with a growing pile to my left, pull out as many of the other documents as Isabella has already prepared for me. We're working through the employee list now. This would have been assigned to the mansion. Because if Isabella was to be believed, what she's seen and what happened to Rose Cooper's because of that letter, I need to know everyone who has possibly read it aside from the 3 of us. They've been noticing strange things too. For all I know, this may have just been a terrible coincidence. Although the thought of that starts to diminish as we dig into the BRC's company files. 15 minutes later, the stack close to my elbow has risen from 5 to 21 different dossiers. I hope I said that right. Then in the employee documentation, people have been either visited the open house or worked on the property in some capacity since the letter's discovery. Turns out, there are 2 more employees who handle the mansion directly, aside from Cooper and Isabella. Christian Tsai, the realty specialist, and Mark Julius Jean-Marie, the state appraiser.
This C guy, he was in custody just the other day.
Really? Sir John has been looking for him. He stopped reporting to work a few weeks ago. Are you sure it's the same person?
Yep, this is him. Folks at the precinct said they went to his house after a noise complaint. They found him just acting all crazy. Had to take him in when he started getting violent. He kept screaming about a woman.
Uh-oh. Immediately she stiffens. I don't want to bring it up or imply a connection to Isabella's story, but that is exactly what happened.
It was driving the guards mad, but he didn't last too long in there. A few hours in, and he just started bashing his own head against the wall, and, well, it was messy, to say the least.
Oh no, we had no idea. Is he okay? HR just marked him as AWOL because none of their calls would get through.
Classic HR.
He's in the hospital right now. I heard they're putting him into a psychiatric ward as soon as he recovers. He's still a bit unstable.
Jean-Marie, on the other hand, his employee file notes his date of leaving and even when his final payment had been given. Along with it, there's a letter to his family about their appraiser being found dead in his office. Communication is hush-hush, suspension of compensation if they don't talk about it to the media. Inspector Abigail has often scolded me for not reading the reports on a regular basis, but I try to keep up to date as much as I can. When I do, make sure I'm aware of the gist of what's going on in my city. This just never reached the police's ears, or the health and safety executive.
Do you know about this guy?
One glance at her says everything. They've hidden it from the media. They kept it from the police. It's not surprising this will also be a secret from someone of Isabella's position in this company. Freak.
Rose was looking for him last week. We haven't heard anything from him either. Until now. They never mentioned this to us.
Business going under and someone dies while working here? Of course they don't want to keep that quiet. Bad publicity. This whole thing is getting freakier by the minute. Nevertheless, I've handed the files to Isabella to make a copy
The
of.
pages with their names, addresses, and contact numbers will do. We'll start with the ones who live within the city.
Sometimes there are things you really can't just brush off as a mere coincidence. My line of work, once a pattern pops up, it's only right to be suspicious. Especially the thing with C. It's too close to home. Too close to the stuff my own friends have been telling me.
All of this?
Considerably thinner than the one she brought in. Yet somehow, when she hugs the folders close to her, makes it seem heavier. Like she's hanging onto the same manner one will latch onto a lifeline.
Only the noteworthy ones.
Those that might still be alive. Might. She doesn't really know that.
We can't check the outside contractors, but the guys with the direct connection to BRC and the people who attended the open house should be enough. We don't have time to see how everyone's doing, especially if what you said is true.
For a second, she appears to appears to be about to argue, quickly decides against it and hides it away before she reads the question in her face. Then, in a too abrupt motion, she turns away to the copier and gets to work. Okay, I think that's a good place to call it. Next time, elevator scene. I assume it'll be a bit different with Isabella, but still does elevator scene. So I'll see you guys next time when we play some more of the letter. Bye!